Hey, this is Carlos Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com. Today we're going to talk about something really pretty cool. It's the 7 things he's hiding from you and why he lies to you. Yeah, I know that was kind of goofy, but it's a goofy day here. Do men lie? Well, yes, of course we do. Is it every 5 minutes, as the media would have you believe? No. In fact, men hate to lie to women, mostly because we know we're not good at it, mostly because we don't like to deceive you or mislead you. Believe it or not, yes, this is a very big motivator for guys. Yes, on occasion, you're going to run into the kind of guy who is a compulsive liar, but it's actually extremely rare. So, is hiding stuff from you lying? Is lying a form of deceit? Well, should he always be upfront and transparent about himself to you all the time, every minute of every day? Well, it's an interesting question that we're actually going to dive into here. First, let's talk about why men lie to you. There are 3 primary reasons. Why men lie, reason number 1, he doesn't want to disappoint you. Ironically, this reason is also why he hates himself for telling you that lie in the first place. Men hate that look of abject disappointment on your face. You know, just like that little cat Puss in Boots from the Shrek movies. We hate that look on your face when we know that we've let you down. It's one of the worst things a man can experience. Why he lies to you, reason number 2, he doesn't want the drama. The emotional turmoil that could be created by the truth is never as attractive as, well, just sweeping it under the carpet. He also feels like this is doing you a favor, kind of sparing you that emotional upheaval. And let's be really honest here. Do you find yourself creating some emotional heaviness for him when there's one of those conversations? You know, those really heavy conversations. And could it be maybe that that's demotivating him from wanting to tell you the truth? It's food for thought. Reason number 3 of why he tells you a fib is he wants to impress you. Hey, it's not easy competing for women's attention. Men feel like we're the ones that have to lock in the girl of our dreams, and if we find a woman that interests us, well, we don't want to lose her, right? We feel a little bit on the scarcity side of things. So a little lie about his college football performance doesn't seem like a huge price to pay. Now, some women might consider lying a bad enough offense, but right up there is the stuff a guy might be hiding from you. After all, why does he need to hide anything from you? Shouldn't he just be an open book? Well, we're going to tackle the philosophical part of that question in a moment, but here's the part you've been dying for. 7 things every guy is hiding from you. Starting with, yes, number 1, he's hiding his porn. Well, you knew that one, right? Yeah, just want to be sure about that. But now times, it's not like he needs to keep his old VHS tapes or DVDs. Heck, anyone can surf over to a porn site these days and get a quick 5-minute fix of nasty video. And there's not much but his browser history to clean up. The funny thing is that guys will still hold on to their old porn discs as if they were rare collector's editions of Led Zeppelin albums or gold doubloons. Why do guys hold on to this stuff? Mostly because throwing out porn feels like a horrible betrayal. That's right, because after all, when we were 12 years old, every single boy was silently praying to find a crate full of Playboys or X-rated movies by the trash dumpster. It would have been manna from heaven. He'd much rather pack it up, put it in a time machine, and send it back to his pubescent self. So there's a good chance he's got a few treasures he's holding on to somewhere. Could be in a box in his attic or closet. It could be under the bed. It could be a secret little directory on his hard drive where he's keeping all those little MP4 videos. But somewhere he's hiding his naughty little stash, and he doesn't want you to know he's got it. Shh. Let's be real here. First of all, you know he's got it, but you finding it isn't going to make your relationship stronger, okay? The fact that he likes backdoor girls numbers 9, 10, and 11 is not going to help your relationship. The best thing you can do is to encourage him to share his dirty movie interest with you someday. The less he feels judged by the woman in his life, the more he's going to reach out to connect. I want you to read that and hear that again. The less he feels judged by the woman in his life, the more he's going to reach out to you to connect to you. Number 2, he's hiding his number. You know which number, right? His past partners, his sexual partners? Yeah. And even if he does tell you what it is, it's not the real number. Yes, the same way you're fibbing about your number. Don't try and lie to me. I already know. You see, men have a way of exaggerating up, and women exaggerate their number down. So let it go. This is another one of those things that does nothing to improve your relationship with him in any way. Now, number 3, he's hiding his sexual interest in your friends, your sister, whoever, etc., etc. I should say he's trying to hide it because, well, unfortunately, most guys make it pretty easy to spot when they found a woman attractive. His behavior changes in some pretty obvious ways. But the reality is that men will meet a woman that's a part of your life and then sometimes think, wow, she's pretty hot. And this doesn't mean that he's going to sleep with her or cheat on you with her or anything like that. He might flirt with her. It also means that guys, unfortunately, don't have that instant filter that women do for selecting sexual partners. That's right. You see, a woman can instantaneously exclude a guy from being a mate because, well, you're a woman. You get to choose, right? Guys get chosen. So every woman remains a candidate for us. Hey, it's the way Mother Nature seems to like it, and you can't argue with Mom, right? Number 4, he's hiding his phone, or at least he's hiding the access code to it. You should never snoop through your partner's phone, okay? Doing so is invasive. It's a clear indication of low self-esteem, and it's also a surefire way to get him totally pissed off with you. It's a terrible idea, but a lot of women, well, they disagree with me on this point. Well, why is he hiding his phone from me? If he seems sneaky, I have a right to find out what's going on, don't I? If he seems sneaky, well, you need to start by thinking about 2 things right off the bat. First, ask yourself if you've created a punishment environment in your relationship. What is a punishment environment? That's where he's never going to feel very safe or comfortable. He's never going to feel like it's in his best interest to openly talk about things with you. He won't reveal because he's going to feel like you're not going to react positively. That right there sets up an environment of presumed punishment. You see, a lot of women unknowingly create that kind of atmosphere. And secondly, if he's being sneaky, instead of invading his privacy, maybe sitting down with him and airing your feelings first would be a good step in the right direction. Let him know what's concerning you about his behavior and then give him a chance to come clean. You'd be surprised about how many men are going to actually open up and tell you what's going on with him if you give him the space to open up and listen to him. Don't talk, just listen to him. Really listen to him. Not judge or be on the edge of your seat ready to berate or condemn him. Remember, that creates the punishment environment. But no matter what you might think, don't jump to conclusions. Look, most of the time the stuff you would find on his phone is pretty boring and innocent. Sometimes it's just flirty conversations that aren't going to go anywhere, and he knows that. Sometimes it's a collection of boob pictures that would make Hugh Hefner jealous. Or maybe it's text comments to a coworker about that new girl in accounting who gives J-Lo a run for her money in the booty department. Whatever it is, you don't have to snoop on him, nor do you need to go looking for more things to try and interpret. Give him his private space, because that's one of those things he fears losing most, especially in a committed relationship. You see that connection? That's right. That's one of the things that will stop him from committing to you. Now, number 5. He hides from you. Yes, he hides you from his friends until he knows you're a keeper. Look, you do the exact same thing. We all do that, unless we're trying to hurry the relationship along artificially so we can keep someone from pulling away from us. Not that anyone would do that. Anyway, so don't be offended that he isn't immediately parading you in front of his family and friends. He wants to be sure that you're someone who he will not only approve of, but also his social circle and his family will see the same things in you that he does. Mind you, if you still haven't met his parents after 5 months of consistent dating, well, you've got every right to ask him, what the hell is going on? Dude, get on it. Number 6, the thing he's hiding is he's hiding a particularly dramatic and explosive relationship that he had. Hey, we've all had a person that just brought out the worst in us. Somehow they just knew how to open up our 64-ounce can of crazy. He doesn't want to talk about those 2 months when he got drunk and practically stalked his crazy ex into a restraining order, or the psycho chick who used to manipulate him through jealousy, or even when he was just really a dick to a sweet girl. These are the places that no man wants to go to in his mind. He might pound the wall of the shower one morning to deal with the sudden recall of it, but he's never going to tell you. And if he does, well, that man is rock solid in love with you beyond all hope. Just propose to him right on the spot. And that leads us to the last thing on our list that he hides from you. Number 7, he hides that he's completely out of control around you. Yes, this is one thing he will hide from you as much as he possibly can. Same way you do it around guys that you're really crazy over, right? You don't want to scare him off, especially if he thinks you might be the one, his soulmate. You see, guys hate that unnerving loss of self-control that they feel around a woman that they really like. It's like someone pushed an override button on his emotional self-control, and now he's completely at your mercy. Which, by the way, is one of the reasons that men pull away from you. They know that they can't resist what's happening to them, so instead he creates some distance so that he can regain some of that lost self-control. Interesting insight there, right? You see, guys do crazy things when they're under the influence of love, much crazier in many ways than women ever do. I think that's why those scenes in romantic comedies, those ones resonate on so many levels with women, you know, like where he's running through an airport or he's holding up a boombox or he does some crazy gesture. They resonate with women. You basically have a hunger for those wild displays of emotion from a guy that prove that he's actually feeling what you are, because guys are so stoic and reserved. So, is he hiding something from you? And is whatever he's hiding from you necessarily a bad thing? Well, again, no man wants to disappoint you, and so he sees lying or hiding a few unsavory details as being the lesser of two evils. Look at it from his point of view. If he tells you an inconvenient truth and you freak out, well, now he's in the doghouse and he's upset you. It's always making more sense to him to forego honesty for smooth, untroubled waters. And let's be honest about being honest. No one is 100% honest. Nobody. We're all hiding a few things away, afraid that it would make the other person completely lose it if they knew our deep, dark secrets. No one is totally open and totally honest all the time, and pretending that you are is actually a kind of self-deception. It's being dishonest to yourself to say that you're honest to everybody else. So let's lose the hypocrisy. We all need to keep a few things under wraps and hidden. Stay away from those articles that tell you 328 signs he's hiding a deep, dark secret from you, or 5 ways to figure out he's lying on you because you know he is, sister. Those trashy advice columns that teach you how to watch him all the time for signals of deception are only going to breed paranoia and discontent. And once you walk down that path, you basically pretty much, well, you're probably going to wind up creating the very situation that you fear, which is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Hiding something doesn't mean a person doesn't trust you or isn't trustable. Just because he doesn't jump at the opportunity to tell you every deep, dark meandering of his mind doesn't mean he's a creepy serial killer. Constantly sharing everything he's thinking or doing would be emotionally exhausting and draining for both of you to manage and deal with. But let's also be clear that if you're hiding anything that would undermine your relationship or jeopardize it, you need to get it out of there. You need to get it out and get it out of your system and handled. You have to keep the lines of communication open. There's a balance to be struck here, and you need to make sure you know when you're getting either too paranoid or too naive. Remember when I told you that he might be hiding his complete loss of control from you? That he might actually think you're his soulmate? Well, this is one area you actually should be watching for signals. It's one of the few that you should be watching for signals. In fact, a man gives off certain signals when he thinks that you might be the one. But more importantly, he's actually looking for a signal from you, a very special signal in you, and it's the signal that will tell him whether or not he can move forward with you, whether or not he can commit to you, whether or not, well, maybe he's going to propose to you. Do you know what that signal is? Well, it's an important one. Go on over to datingadviceguru.com/soulmates and find out more in my very special presentation. Go on over to datingadviceguru.com/soulmates, and I'll see you again next time. This is Carlos Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com/soulmates.